So that is us, and I just want to personally thank you all for, this is my first official Open UK event, and it's been brilliant. I've learned tons. Hopefully you guys know a lot more than I do, but hopefully you guys have learned something today and also maybe have made some good connections and started some conversations. I think there's a lot to work with here. I'm just going to make one programming note before I bring on our last speaker. It makes it sound like it's going to be very long. It won't. But following this, we will have drinks. When you leave the auditorium, there will be drinks in that hallway down here. If you follow, it's going to be the most lovely drinks you've ever had. If you follow the path to the left around the side, you'll be able to go through some of the exhibits, some of the attractions, where we will end in the rainforest, and more drinks will be down there. And there's an exit from there as well. We're not like locked in the rainforest. But yeah, so you grab a drink when you walk outside and follow along to the left to go make it to the rainforest. Finally, on behalf of Open UK, I'd like to welcome Dan Aldridge, who's on our Senior Policy Manager at BCS, and he's also on our Policy Advisory Board. He's going to say a few words for the organization. Thank you.
So you might have seen me taking lots of photos. It's because I've been getting updates and texts every 5 minutes from Amanda, who can't possibly just take a day off with COVID. When it was COP26 event in Glasgow, I had COVID, so now it's Amanda's turn, I suppose. So I'm Dan Aldridge, Head of Policy at BCS, the Chartered Institute for IT, and I've been working closely with Amanda and a lot of political advisors that we've been nurturing over the past 18 months, really, and that's how long a general election kind of strategy kind of plan goes for. But and it's all about trying to translate and position some of the amazing stuff that we've heard about today into something that is digestible. And when I'm talking about digestible, I'm not even talking about an elevator pitch. I'm talking about a one-word or one-sentence slogan that can be digested. And I think that's been a learning curve for me. It's definitely been a learning curve for the British Computer Society, who, techies, we like to have lots of detail. So it's just I won't keep you long, I promise. But the thing that is noticeable is that we have the answers here, and it's now about how we enact them at scale. And Emily talked earlier about this being the most technological general election ever. And that's not an understatement. And what's really exciting about it is that you have both main political parties vying for space and vying to be the best friend of technology. It's interesting how that's developing, and we don't have time to go into it now, but I'm happy to pick it up with people at a different time. I just wanted to point out something. So I don't know if anybody does kind of pick up, just does follow politics, but if we go back a few months to when it was the Uxbridge by-election, and there was the ultra-low emission zone controversy, and how that was painted as a referendum on sustainability and green, the green agenda. And you could see, whether or not you've perceived it, in the political sphere, sustainability went from kind of here way down to here. It's like totally off the Tories' agenda, and it is in Labour's agenda, but it is not being talked about. So therefore, we have to figure out ways to kind of bring it back. And I think that's why it's really brilliant that the work that Salim announced this morning about the blueprint challenge is so important, because when one area dips, you've got to lift it up somewhere else. So I'm trying to remember everything that Amanda tried to get me to say. So the Data Center Advisors Board that Chris is leading, speak to Chris if you want to be involved, or applications are at admin@openuk.uk, and there's a Scottish meetup that's trying to be arranged. So Amanda, obviously Scottish, really cares about sustaining the open source community up here, and is really keen that that happens. As we heard from the minister earlier, sorry, he's not minister, the cabinet secretary earlier, that the Scottish government is really behind this agenda, and in many ways sees it as a wedge issue with Westminster parties. So we use that, and that's really good for us. I will not keep you any longer. We've had enough of listening, so let's go chat and have drinks, and thank you, everybody.